This video is brought to you by BlueCert. BlueCert is a trusted provider for AI-related certifications designed to validate expertise in machine learning, data science, NLP, AI security, and more. You can go to bluecert.org to take a look at all of their offerings. You can explore the certifications. Here we have certifications on machine learning, AI healthcare, AI in finance, natural language processing, and many more. If I go to machine learning, you can see the different potential roles that are available for machine learning as developers and even different paths that are available. And this provides you with AI-focused specialization, flexible online exams, and also employer recognition. You can also check out some of the sample multiple choice questions on that category. If you're looking for certification for machine learning or AI related fields, check out bluecert.org. Now, one of the things that I mentioned slightly in the last lecture was when we were looking at the name variable, and I was like, hey, maybe we should call it a full name, right? Because John Doe is a full name. And I wrote something like this. But I didn't really explain it that why I wrote the variable name like this. I mean, if I write a variable name in a different way, like, is that not going to work? Well, it is going to work. That's perfectly fine. You can see that there are no errors in this. It's still going to work. I can write my variable name like this. Now, I won't really write it like this because it's kind of hard to understand what fn actually means. And in the last lecture, I talked about that when you are creating your variables, you should always make sure that the variable names are very descriptive. Now, by descriptive, I don't mean that you should say like this. This is a full name of a customer. No, that's too long. Maybe we don't really need all of that stuff, right? So a good way would be to declare it kind of like this, full name. If it's a full name, then you can write it like that. But then we come to the point like, hey, what's the difference between this and this? Well, both are actually correct. Both will work, but every programming language has convention. Convention means that this is how you're supposed to write stuff. I mean, and you can actually see the conventions in our daily life also. I mean, if you have a pair of shoes, you can put it in the shoe rack, which is the desired location, I think. You can also put your shoes in a refrigerator, in the fridge, in the freezer. I mean, that's fine, I think. But that's not the convention we use in daily life, right? We don't really put our shoes in a refrigerator or in the oven or things like that. So we have certain things that we do in our daily life, which are we place something somewhere which is desired location. And in the same way, when we are using Python, we name our variable in a certain way, right? So over here, we're calling it full name instead of full name like this. Now, the reason that I'm calling it full underscore name is because full name is a combination of two words, full and name. And when you have variables that are composed of two different words, then you can use underscore to separate them out while still keeping the words in lowercase letters. See, everything is lowercase. So this kind of convention is known as snake casing. Snake case. So somebody talks about snake case. In programming language, they're talking about where the name of the variable and later on you'll learn about name of the functions are all written with lowercase. Now, each language does have their own convention. if I have to type the same thing in Swift language, Swift language is used to create iPhone application, iPad, Mac OS, iPad, Vision OS, and all that. It's an Apple language. So if I have to declare full name, I would do it something like this. Oops. There we go. Swift does uses let, so that's why we have a let keyword, but we're more concerned about the name of the variable. And over here you can see that this is quite different when we compare it to the way that we do things in Python. And this kind of a convention, when we use it for Swift language, for JavaScript, for Java, and all the other languages, this is known as camel case. All right, so Python uses snake case, Swift, Java, you have JavaScript, maybe Kotlin, maybe Dart. Those programming languages uses camel casing. And the camel casing is where the first letter of the first word is small, but the other word's first letter is uppercase. And I think they call it camel casing because if you see, it becomes kind of like a hump, right? While snake casing is just all flat, like a snake. So there are other casing also, Pascal casing and all that stuff, but I'm not going to go into those details. Just remember that when you are creating a variable in Python and that particular variable is composed of two separate words joined together, then you can join them together using an underscore while keeping the letter small. So another example we can actually see over here is, well, we have published already, right? So other examples can be company name. Okay. Company name. And whatever the company name is, Apple. See that? Two words, company name. So we joined them together using underscore, and all the letters are small. Why? Well, because this is a convention. It's how you should be writing code in Python. If you call it like this, company name, or even you can do it like this, company name. I mean, it's still going to work. It's still going to behave like a variable. But when your team members are going to read this code and they see something like this, they will immediately tell you that, hey, this is not the convention. This is not how we do things around here. You have to follow the convention of how the Python documentation is telling you that how you should name things. All right. So that's why it's a good idea to have these kind of practice, or trying to do these things early on in your career, so that it's in your memory, it's in your brain. All right. So it's a very important step, and practice makes perfect. So practice is a lot. If you're creating a variable, creating a function, or in any language, try to first read about that language convention and then make sure that you are following it. That's a very important step, because if you just willy-nilly start using a different convention which is not part of the language, then it's going to take more effort for you to forget those things because you've been doing wrong so long time. All right. So we learn about naming of our variables in this particular lecture. All right, let's move forward.